Hi, with me I have Jerry Culp. Jerry, how you doing?
Just fine. We're having a great time here at the World Championship.
If you guys don't know who Jerry Culp is, he's part of the two-time, I say that again, two-time defending world champions, right?
Indeed, that is correct.
And if you guys don't know who we're talking about Strike Force. Now, normally I talk to Corey. It's very refreshing I get to talk to you. So how are you doing?
Yeah, we're feeling pretty good. When you look at the teams that have showed up on Curie, we're going to have some serious work to do. It is going to be quite a slugfest, so I don't think anybody's going to know for sure how this turns out until it's over. A lot of powerhouse teams. We're just trying to make sure we're as ready as we can be. Kids are cranking on the robot, and we're pretty excited.
Aside of competition, what else do you guys do at Worlds? Do you try to promote Stryker and try to get more engineering students to come to Stryker as part of it?
Well, that's very correct. A number of years ago, there was a dream that we could build enough of a brand in FIRST Robotics to build the Stryker name. You know, you look around and say, where are you going to get the workforce of the future? And Dean's right. It's here. It's these kids. And so we've built enough of a brand, and we've gotten excited enough as Stryker, as the organization, that this has become a big focus. And so we are now actively recruiting kids out of FIRST in high school and then chasing them all the way through college. So we're taking a page right out of how they do it in sports. But the competition for true talent could never be higher, and Stryker's all in when you think about FIRST Robotics.
And I have a very valid point to that. I was at Lansing in my second event for the season, and Corey, when me and Corey see each other, we shake hands, we start talking. Corey made it a point to ask me what kids of mine were going to what colleges.
Yep.
And I have two that are going to Kettering. And he said, well, what are they majoring in? And I said, well, one's majoring in chemical engineering and the other one mechanical. He said, I want to talk to the mechanical guy. I said, okay. So I introduced him. His name's Curtis. And they pulled him out on the field for the Kettering scholarship because he got the Kettering scholarship. And he made it a point to recruit him.
Yeah.
And me as a mentor, without getting teary-eyed and emotional, that's what FIRST is about.
Oh.
Is building that. That to me is better than any blue banner that we could ever won this year, is to have one of my students go off to Kettering and then potentially work for Stryker within our same state because we live within the same state. That is an ultimate validation of what you said. So I want to thank you and thank Stryker for what you're doing for our students.
Well, you're quite welcome. And while certainly part of it is out of the goodness of our heart, make no mistake, this is serious business.
Yes, it is.
We're in need of serious talent, and you've got to pay attention to where you get it, and that's why we're so involved in FIRST Robotics, because there is a ton of talent here, and we're trying to reach out and connect with as many kids as possible, learn who they are, learn what they want to do, what they're good at, and those that are matches, get them lined up, and help guide them through college, internships, exposure to Stryker, and hopefully when they graduate, have a shot at them of having them do some cool stuff. We're a pretty big player in surgical robotics. So
yes, you are.
You look at autonomous out here on the field, it's a whole different thing when somebody's on the OR table. Could even be a family member. Auton better work right.
Can people come visit you in the pits? I mean, what?
Yeah, absolutely. We have got a constant stream of folks coming in and out of the pits. And the great thing about FIRST, your technology is on full display. And so we have got everything in the robot, pieces, parts for folks. We've got a demo box. It's got all the different subsystems so people can come and see this is how we did it. We're going to share everything. At the end of each year, we fully publish everything. All the prints, all the software, everything gets published at the end of the year. FIRST is about sharing that learning.
Right.
And then next year you try to figure out how to do it even better. So tons of cool stuff to see just walking through the pits. And there are 400 robots here to do the same job, no two alike.
No.
Stunningly, no two even close.
And I think this year's the biggest difference in that. Prior years we saw a lot of similar design robots.
Yep.
This year you see so much diversity in the build, right?
Yeah, no, it's amazing to look at the creativity and what the students get to see and learn here. They watch a lot of ideas show up when we're brainstorming, and they fail. We tell them, most of what we think of is going to be awful. It's getting through all of that and finding the good ideas, and they really get their eyes opened about this rapid visualization and conceptualizing different robot architectures and then pick the right ones. So you see an amazing array of different ways to solve the same problem here.
Me as a firefighter, I'm a volunteer
Yep.
firefighter. I know who Stryker is because we use your gurneys.
Oh,
to
you
carry
recognize
people.
that yellow paint.
Yes, we do. And if people don't know that, if you situation, and we never want to wish this on anyone, where you have to be picked up
Yep.
on a gurney and put into an ambulance, 9 times out of 10 it's a Stryker
Yep.
appliance that's doing that work.
Yeah, one of our divisions makes a product line we call Rugged. And it's really an entire product offering intended to help folks like you get the patients from wherever the event happened out of harm's way and on their way to the hospital. Part of that brand is yellow, and it's the yellow you see behind you. Matter of fact, all these parts go through the exact same paint line. Now, they hang them on there as rejects, and they come off the line, they go in the reject bucket, and then we go pick them up. But it's all painted by the same stuff. So that Rugged brand, we probably dominate 90% of that market of getting patients from wherever the event happened off to the hospital. And interesting story, I think it was here last year, or either at States last year, we got a bunch of the kids at a restaurant after a day competing, and one of the waitresses was walking down an alleyway between a couple of tables and just caught the floor wrong and spun her knee out and slipped going down with a whole tray full of stuff, and she tore her knee up on the way down. She's in serious pain. We try to help her out, and the kids then got to watch the ambulance guys show up, wheel in the Stryker stretchers that are literally identical to what we wheel the robot around on, and it was just fascinating. And luckily the waitress, I think, was going to turn out just fine, but very cool demonstration of what we can do.
Well, if your rejected parts, just because you told us on the paint line, win multiple world championships, I think you guys have something going for you.
We probably do.
Well, Jerry, we want to give you a lot of thanks for us, for what you do for the podcast, for the TV show, for what you do for FIRST, what you do for our students, and we're going to get out of your hair because you're setting up and getting ready to compete, right?
It's about to get pretty serious out.
So we want to wish you luck.